we welcome you to this broadcast of girls varsity basketball on NKTelco Sports. We're here at the Botkins Athletic Complex where the Fairlawn Jets will take on the Botkins Trojans. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Climate Technologies, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, the Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, Brad Industries, Winners Meats, and NKTelco. You're looking live right now at the Botkins Athletic Complex. My name's Brandon Coverman, alongside me Michael Laws, and a Thursday night here on what's been a rainy day here in January 2023, and this is a Shelby County battle. And first we take a look at the Fairlawn Jets. Michael, they come in at 1 win on this year against 16 losses against Triad. Has been their only win this year under six-year head coach Gavin Cathcart. They're 0-9 in the Shelby County Athletic League, looking to pull a little bit of an upset here tonight.
Yeah, they got their work cut out for them with 5 freshmen out of the 8 in their lineup, only the 2 seniors, but been working hard. He just, Coach Cathcart, talking to him before the game, basically he says he's got a lot of talent, just a little bit young, but they're very scrappy, can make some things happen, and he's happy with their work ethic, and we'll see what happens.
And taking a look on the other side, the Botkins Trojans at 9-7 on the year, and they played a lot of games close. They picked up a big quality league win over the Jackson Center Tigers, defeating them 29-25. And this is a team, really, if you look at their averages, they sit around, they all kind of support each other, around 7-8 points a game. There's not really a person, Camden Paul can take over a game at a time, but this is a team that's really well balanced.
Yeah, they got a lot of weapons in different spots, so just like you had mentioned, it's a very, very balanced attack. And right now they're hot on 3rd place, right behind Fort Loramie and Russia right now, so just trying to chase them, only a couple of games back. This team concept really worked for them really well so far.
All right. Well, thanks for the pregame. We're going to step aside as we kick it to PA announcer Ryan Gutman. We'll have the national anthem, the starting lineups, and keys to the game here next on NKTelco Sports.
I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Back here on NKTelco Sports as we get ready for our Emerson Climate Technology starting lineups here tonight. And this is the 113th all-time meeting between these two schools. As we get underway again, our Emerson Climate Technology starting lineups. First for the Fairlawn Jets, 1-16 on the season, 0-9 in the Shelby County Athletic League. Number 1, Lainey Clemens. Number 3, freshman Kaylee Helber. Number 11, Avery North. Number 21, Riley Eichelberger. And rounding out the lineup, number 44, senior Darcy Maxson. So for Fairlawn, that's Clemens, Helber, North, Eichelberger, and Maxson. Their head coach in his 6th season is Gavin Cathcart, assisted by Thad Helber. Now our starting lineups brought to you by Emerson Climate Technologies for the Botkins Trojans and first-year head coach Tyler Carson. His staff is Rebecca New, his assistant, and JV coach Tasha Perry. And the Trojans are 9-7, 5-3 in the Shelby County Athletic League. Number 3, 4'11" senior Lydia Dietz. 5'3" junior. Number 2, Camden Paul. Number 5, 5'8" junior Mulaney Maurer. A 5'6" sophomore, number 12, Delana Pitts. And rounding out the lineup for the Botkins Trojans, number 11, a 5'7" senior, Kennedy Dosek. Again, the Trojans are coached by first-year head man Tyler Carson. As we thank Emerson Climate Technologies for supporting those starting lineups here on NKTelco Sports, let's take a look at the keys to the game brought to you by Keyhole Pizza in Newport, Ohio. First, Michael, taking a look for the Fairlawn Jets.
Yeah, talking with Coach Cathcart before the game, basically try to find Lainey Clemens in the open floor to get her open, make sure all players are effective both on the starters and off the bench, and try to find Avery North in the three-point range as she's their most effective three-point shooter.
And taking a look at our keys for the Botkins Trojans.
They want to get off to a fast start, keep their get all good hunk of rebounds and good floor spacing.
And again, that floor spacing due to this zone that Fairlawn's going to apply early. And Botkins, a very good three-point shooting team, like to shoot a lot of them. As Maurer thought about throwing one up on the first possession, Lydia Dietz is going to throw one up here and throw it well off the mark. It'll be Botkins basketball. Our officials tonight here, our head man is Joe Turner. His other referees are Damon Coverman and Mitch Owens. So, again, a Coverman calling the game, they get Coverman officiating. So, there you go.
We're overrun with Covermans tonight. It's fantastic. So, it's great.
Maxson on the ball on the right side. Gives it up on the left wing. Shot is well off the mark there as that ball is going to go off Eichelberger. It'll be Botkins basketball. 46 seconds into this game. No score.
Yeah, you can definitely tell the size advantage, of course, with the age, obviously, with the 5 freshmen, but I will give them credit so far. At least Fairlawn's not showing any fear. They're at least going to go after them.
They're going to play that zone. They're going to be very aggressive there on the wings. Botkins can light it up from the three-point range. Pitts going to the basket. Shot's no good. Kicks it out to Paul in the corner. Paul going to fire a 3. Well off the mark. Rebound down to Dietz. Clemens trying to tip it away. Goes back to Pitts. Kicks in the corner to Dosek. Back over to Dietz to Maurer. Maurer to Dietz. Good ball movement by the Trojans. Maurer in the corner. Maurer going to give it back to Dietz. Clock rolling here. 6:35 in the first quarter. No score yet on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Paul on the inside. Beautiful move. Camden Paul. Definitely a candidate to be an all-county selection, and she shows it right there.
Yeah, she definitely found the cutting, and I think that's going to be a big thing is the floor spacing, as we talked about, trying to find that opening, and definitely found it there.
Clemens on the inside loses the basketball. It should stay with the Jets, and it does. Eichelberger will inbound it. Throw it in the backcourt. It's caught by Clemens on the exchange back over to North. North on the Trojan logo back to Clemens. Clemens gets that basketball tipped by Maurer. Clemens goes to the right side. Clemens going to get some pressure from Maurer. Jets being patient, trailing 2-0. Their second possession of the game here on NKTelco Sports. Again, a varsity-only contest. Shot there, no good. Up there by Helber. So good. Botkins leaking out ahead. Paul trying to get it ahead to Dosek. Dosek puts it up. Shot is blocked there in transition by Laney Clemens.
Yeah, nice block there for Fairlawn to be able to get back on defense and be able to create that and still keep it at only a 2-point lead.
Darcy Maxon with the basketball, the lone senior on this roster for the Jets. Ball gets back over to Laney Clemens. Clemens in the lane. Clemens to the basket. Shot's no good. Maxon on the follow-up. No good. Maxon goes up again. Throws up a wild shot. Goes back out over to Eichelberger. Eichelberger on the inside. Goes back out to North. 5 minutes to go here. First quarter. 2-0. Clemens to the basket. Shot is blocked there by Camden Paul. Up ahead quickly to Dosek in transition to Pitts, and Delana Pitts puts it in, and it's a 4-0 Botkins lead.
I think that's definitely going to be the key here for Botkins is this transition, especially they were able to block that and then create that, and basically two fast break points.
Maxon up ahead, and Fairlawn breaks into the scoring column on a Darcy Maxon lay-in.
Yeah, nice way to find that. Botkins kind of lost their placement there and got Fairlawn the points there.
Shot's no good. Ball up ahead. The Jets are going to turn it right back over to the Trojans. Pitts on the inside. Pitts to the basket. And refs are really letting him play here early as Clemens tries to get the ball up ahead. She battles with Dietz. Senior on freshman. Shot's no good.
Yeah, so far 4 missed shots for Fairlawn from 2, the only one from Maxon so far.
Pitts' shot is no good. Man, Botkins struggling to establish that transition early on as we're going to have a substitution. Jana Metz, who usually gets some time on the JV roster. Kind of benefit for Botkins here tonight is with no JV game, they can have those JV girls like Jana Metz and Reagan McPheron and Kylie Mack play more minutes.
Yeah, you get that extra half from that because you're limited to the 3 halves per contest if you do a crossover, and now you don't have to worry about that, so you can definitely get some quality playing time for the JVs.
Botkins' chance to tie it up over halfway through the first quarter. They get it in over to Laney Clemens. And you take a look at this Fairlawn roster. It's, again, 5 freshmen. Cassie Heath is out of the line. It's been out with an injury here for a while. As Fairlawn retains possession, and Lydia Dietz going to come back in the lineup.
Yeah, Coach Cathcart had talked about maybe Heath was kind of 50-50, and unfortunately some ligament issues has kept her out. So unfortunately, so they're dealing with the 8 that they have.
Eichelberger on the right side, dealing with Metz. Eichelberger for the tie, lays it in. Riley Eichelberger ties it up, and we're knotted up at 4-4 on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard.
Yeah, Fairlawn not showing any fear. They're definitely trying to do that and keep it up, but they got the 3 to get that back.
Kennedy Metz bangs home a 3 from the corner, or Kennedy Dosek, excuse me. Kennedy Dosek hits a 3 from the corner, gives Botkins a 7-4 lead on that First National Bank Think First scoreboard.
Yep, definitely found a nice opening, and especially from that deep from that corner, and be able to find that touch that Botkins was having a little trouble to find earlier.
And that shot is good. Laney Clemens hits the shot from beyond the elbow.
Yeah, a little bit long too. Nice long 2 there, and able to keep this here within 1.
Fairlawn still in that 3-2 zone, fighting and scrapping here against Botkins. They get the ball in the short corner over to Dosek. Maxon with the rebound. The youthful Jets fighting here early, still very early here. 6 minutes in the ball game. They get the ball to Clemens in the lane, back to Eichelberger. Eichelberger cross-court pass goes over to Helber. Helber fires up the shot for the lead. It's well short. Dosek clears the boards. Faces some immediate pressure from Fairlawn. They push up ahead. Trojans got numbers if they want them. Dietz in the corner. Transition 3, shots off the mark. Maxon gets the rebound.
Yeah, it might be a little bit of impatience here from Botkins, thinking that they've got an opportunity and maybe holding on to the ball a little bit too tight and not finding the openings that they might want to think they have early here.
It's a 30-second timeout. All timeouts this year on NKTelco Sports are brought to you by Precision Strip. We'd like to thank our additional sponsors, Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Healsman Automotive, Park National Bank, SecureCom, the St. Henry Bank, and Wilson Health. Our keys to the game are brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Our scoreboard sponsors, First National Bank. Starting lineup sponsors, Emerson Climate Technologies. This timeout is brought to you by Precision Strip. And our player of the game, which Michael and I will select at the end from Botkins, is brought to you by NKTelco. So I'd like to remind you that, and this is only a varsity contest, and there's no JV contest. So it is one game only here tonight on NKTelco Sports.
Yeah, that's what Coach Cathcart talked about earlier, JV, having that ability to get those extra reps.
And Jana Metz gets the steal and fouled, and Metz will go to the line and shoot 2 free throws at the timeout.
But, yeah, just kind of going off earlier, he just, missing that level, to try to get those extra reps for those extra players and, a lot of the, the 5 freshmen having to step up here.
Metz misses the first free throw. One more free throw here for Jana Metz. As she tries to extend this 7-6 Trojan lead on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. An empty trip as Darcy Maxon clears the boards.
Fairlawn's got to be pretty happy here, only down 1 here with about a minute to go here in the first. So
it's a little run and jump. Eichelberger gets that ball stolen almost, and it's going to stay with the Jets there. She had 3 Trojans surrounding her.
Yeah, that was a nice double team, almost, like you said, almost a triple team. And that pressure, I think that's what they're trying to keep, Mike Keon, try to maybe pressure these see what these young players have in their wheelhouse.
Clements trying to get the count off her, being harassed by Camden Paul. Eichelberger nearly lost it, threw it off of Metz's leg.
Definitely showing a little emotion. It's like, I don't know if she was looking for something else or...
Maxon to the basket. It was a good look. Couldn't quite finish. Camden Paul zips up the floor fast. Paul goes to that right side of the middle of the lane. She stops, fires, shot is no good. Clemens comes down with it. She zips up the floor, trying to zigzag through this Botkins defense. It's tipped out of bounds, and it'll stay Jet basketball.
Yeah, Fairlawn's got to be very, very, as I mentioned, very happy right now as Botkins seems to be a tad cold here. 5 missed 2s, 3 missed 3 so far. And also coming up empty on the free throw line as well.
Ball on the inside to Maxon, and Darcy Maxon scores. She's got 4 points as they've gone to that matchup often on the inside. Ball in the corner, Lydia Dietz. Back over to Camden Paul, back over to Pitts, and Pitts is fouled from behind by Avery North. Be team's 3rd. And this is a Botkins team in the last game. They only scored 29 points against a very good Jackson team. But offense was hard to come by in the last game. They only scored 7 here. Dietz trying to get the lead back. Got it home. Lydia Dietz gives Botkins the lead back with 20 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, nice open for getting that off her hand really quickly and nothing but net and get the 2-point lead here for Botkins. And now a turnover. Botkins coming back 3-on-2.
Dosak gets the steal up to Dietz, and that ball just rimmed out. Clements going to have to get it off at the horn, and I don't think she got it off in time, and it doesn't matter anyway. It's a 10-8 Botkins Trojan lead over the Fairlawn Jets after 1 quarter. We'll step aside, come back with the second quarter of play here next on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for Carriage Works. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County has a job for you. Grand Lake Health System has over 800 employees. Included is Joint Township District Memorial Hospital and multiple physician practices. And we're now hiring a variety of positions that fit all education and skill levels. Plus, you'll get a great benefit package offered to both full and part-time workers. Join this rewarding career and help your community in the process. Contact Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County for all your employment needs.
Back here on NKTelco Sports here at the beginning of the second quarter of play between Botkins and Fairlawn. And, you know, you take a look on this matchup on paper, Michael. It's 10-8 after one quarter. Fairlawn played pretty well to stick around in it, but a Lydia Dietz 3 gives Botkins the lead starting the second quarter.
Yeah, I think the big story right now is Botkins has just not been able to find, 5 missed 2s. And 3 missed 3s, missing from the free throw line, been a little bit ice cold here, so that's I think, a big part of it. If they can find their rhythm here in the in the second quarter, be able to kind of get on some cruise control here and see what happens.
16 seconds in, they cause a turnover on the jump ball. Lydia Dietz 3 just about 20 seconds before the end of the first quarter gave Botkins the 10-8 advantage on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. As Mulaney Maurer gives it back up over to Delana Pitts. Pitts goes over on the left side to Lydia Dietz. Back over to Dosek. Dosek on the inside, banks it home. Kennedy Dosek with 5 points for the 5'7" senior.
I think you're going to see a lot more of them going inside just purely for the size and maturity advantage, cutting into that lane, see what they can come up with.
Foul there, and Botkins player coming down quick, and can't afford much injury there. As I think it's maybe just knocked knees there. As that going down there was Callie Helber.
So she's trying to walk it off there.
Hopefully,
have a trainer coming over and looking at that and see how she's going to cope here. So hopefully everything will be all right and she can be able to return.
Clemens in the lane. Ball goes over on the left side to Eichelberger. Back in the corner, Clemens. Nice shot from the wing. It doesn't fall. Rebound down to Maurer. Maurer up ahead to Dietz. Tipped out of bounds. It'll stay Trojan possession.
A lot of scrappiness here from Fairlawn. Be able to, as you mentioned, keeping this only a four-point lead here for Botkins, and they're still trying to find their shooting stroke a little bit. Gotten a couple of threes, but doesn't come up with that one. At least come up with a rebound, though.
Shot no good, but Delana Pitts puts it back in. And she's all over the floor, and the way she's really come on this varsity team this year, especially at the injury to Kennedy Dosek. And speaking of Pitts, goes right up to the basket and is fouled by Eichelberger, and will go to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, nice aggressiveness there by Pitts to be able to create that. And, you got to play both ends of the court, and she definitely did that and created that. Now it gets to go to the line, kind of add, hopefully, for Botkins, add to this lead here.
So, Delana Pitts at the line, shoots and scores. She had a huge game in that game about 2 weeks ago against the Parkway Panthers, which saw the Trojans on their home floor give the Panthers their first loss of the season. One of the top teams in the MAC. As Pitts splits the pair from the line, she's got 5 to team high honors with Kennedy Dosek. Clemens in the lane. Clemens loses the basketball. It's going to be Botkins basketball.
Yeah, pressure there from Botkins creating that turnover. I think you're going to see a little bit of a little bit more double team, a little bit more pressure. You got a little bit more of a size advantage with the Trojans there to really kind of put these young Fairlawn Jets under pressure.
Ball goes back over to Camden Paul. It's a 7-point Botkins lead with 6 minutes before halftime. Reagan McPherson in the lineup. Back over on the left side, Mulaney Maurer. Bullseye from the left wing. Mulaney Maurer's got a smooth stroke, and she's in the box score.
Yep, she'll get her 3. Now got another turnover there, and gets the ball back to Botkins.
It's an 8-0 Trojan run 2 minutes into the second quarter. It's only 10-8 after one quarter. Paul with the basketball on the right side. She's going to fire a three of her own. Almost kissed it off the glass. Rebound down to Pitts in the lane. She goes up and is fouled and will shoot two. And, man, she gets to the line often, Michael. She got to the line 17 times when they played Parkway back on January 2nd. And she shoots a lot of free throws as we have a timeout by Coach Gavin Cathcart. It's a full timeout. We'll take it with them. 5.5 minutes to go here in the first half. It's an 18-8 Botkins Trojan lead here on NKTelco Sports.
We are here, and here, and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is a job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
Back here on NKTelco Sports, 18-8 our score. Botkins over Fairlawn here. Brandon Coverman along with Michael Laws. And been, at first quarter, it kept it tight. Botkins trying to really pull away here now with a 10-point lead over the Fairlawn Jets.
Yeah, they're starting to find that first quarter a little bit cold. Starting to find the rhythm here, getting into the now getting to the line. And you had mentioned earlier with Delaney Pitts, 73 free throw attempts, has made 33 of those 73 at 45%. So she goes to the line quite a bit, as you had mentioned.
And Pitts misses the first one. And again, I said 17 times against Parkway, which is, crazy as she helped really seal that win. She goes empty there from the line as Botkins is going to reapply that pressure with 5:20 to go till halftime. Clemens throws up the shot. It's no good. Back in transition. Paul was leaking behind the defense there after she got a hard screen. Pitts in transition, puts up the shot. It's no good. And she traveled before she even had possession there. And it was a good effort there by Pitts, but it'll be Fairlawn basketball.
Yeah, she got a little anxious there and moving up those. Been noticing, especially a lot in games lately, a lot of moving feet and a lot of traveling in many games that I've been doing.
I think Eichelberger waited to go back in bounds. As soon as you inbound that basketball, you got to reestablish your position. You can't sit there and wait. Skip pass over to Maurer, goes back over to Paul. Paul on the inside, Paul to the basket. It hangs there, but it falls in.
Brings Camden Paul to 4 points.
Like I said, that's such a key thing with this Botkins team, why they've been having success in its stay Fairlawn basketball as Metz and Dietz return to the lineup for the Trojans, is their balance. Right
now Paul with 4 points, Dietz with 3, Maurer with 3, Kennedy Dosick with 5, and Delaney Pitts with 5.
Maxon gets it up ahead to Cathcart, who lays it in. That's Lily Cathcart's first basket and the first points of the second quarter for Coach Gavin Cathcart's squad.
Yeah, they got to be excited and especially be able to take advantage of that opening they have. But Botkins comes back, responds back, Camden Paul. And now currently Camden Paul leading scorer for Botkins, currently at 6 points.
And lead scorer overall, Camden Paul, definitely probably akin to be, I said earlier, a Shelby County League selection. I've done enough Botkins games to say she probably is deservingly enough a first-team All-County selection. That's a 3 from North, falls short. Eichelberger with the rebound. Eichelberger kicks it back out to North to Clemens. Clemens going to take the long 2, swishes it. Made shot there by Laney Clemens. She cuts the deficit to 10.
Averages 9 points a game for Coach Cathcart, and currently the Fairlawn's leading scorer.
And Jana Metz returns the favor quickly, takes a nice cut to the basket and scores. And we have a travel there on Laney Clemens right there at half court.
Yeah, Fairlawn's just got to keep their composure right now, even though down 12. There's been hanging in here and been able to hit some long twos and be able to at least stay in this contest. So hopefully they can keep their composure here and keep in here and hang with the Trojans.
Trojans get the ball up over to Metz. Metz goes to the short corner, back out to Pitts. Back over to Dietz. Left side to Camden Paul. Paul in the lane. Paul puts up the teardrop, kisses it off the glass. And if you do not meet Camden Paul right away on the perimeter and she blows by you, just, wish yourself good luck.
Mm-hmm. She has been driving the lane, and the last couple have been those nice kisses off the window and very aggressive there in the lane, and being now currently leading with 8 points right now.
Mulaney Maurer and Kennedy Dosek return to the lineup. Again, this Botkins team pretty junior heavy if you take a look at it. Dietz and Dosek are seniors, but Camden Paul, Janelle Plattfoot, who we know has been out for the year with an injury, Reagan McPherson, Kylie Maxim juniors, and also you have the sophomore Delana Pitts, and a very good year, or very good team. I mean, in the future, even for this Botkins Trojans right now, they've had some really solid seasons the past couple years, have made the district semifinals the past 2 years at the Sydney Sectional. We'll be getting another high seed there when that drawing happens here in the upcoming weeks.
Yep. You definitely want to have as good a season going into that voting to get that momentum, to at least get the respect and get the choices, especially when you go into that meeting. You want to get the higher seeds and get the what's going to be best for your team in those matchups.
Trojans up ahead. Paul trying to get contact, is fouled, going up, and she'll shoot 2. So Camden Paul at the line will get 2 free throws.
Again, her aggressiveness in the lane and just being able to drive and just outside threat, inside threat, and being able to get that and see if she can get the free throw, and she does.
And Pitts and Cathcart back in for the Botkins and Fairlawn respectively. And Paul up to 9 points here tonight, looking to get in double figures in the first half. Again, this second quarter has been all Trojans, as it's an 18-4 advantage for the Trojans this quarter.
Definitely been able to find their shooting edge, especially kind of cold in that first quarter, but as you mentioned, on this hot run right now, 18-4 here in the second quarter.
Should be a foul by the Trojans. Transition there, trying to put pressure on the Fairlawn Jets.
I think that's going to be the key. I think they've got more depth, so they can actually, if they need to give up the foul, they can. Fairlawn unfortunately doesn't have that with only the 8 players. So definitely going to wait for Botkins there.
Yeah, turn it over as Helber went out the game earlier for Fairlawn. Don't see her back on the bench yet. Hopefully she's okay. So Cassie, and I think she is, as Cassie Heath has been out for a while for the Jets as well, another freshman. Had a very good sister by the name of Alana Heath. As a 3 from the left wing is canned by Mulaney Maurer. That's her second three-pointer. That's her signature shot right there.
Currently has 6 points, and as you mentioned, this well-balanced Botkins offense with basically 5 players with points so far and looking to add to that.
Pitts in transition. Shot is good. Delana Pitts up to 7 points now, 33-12. Botkins, as Pitts almost poked that away from Eichelberger. As more substitutions coming in. North back in for Fairlawn, and Kylie Mack going to come in for the first time for the Botkins Trojans.
Yeah, you had mentioned this balance. Camden Paul with 10, and Lydia Dietz with 3, 6 for Mulaney Maurer. Kennedy Dosek with 5, and Delana Pitts with 7. Just well balanced, and now another turnover.
And a steal there, and the lay-in good by Kennedy Dosek. 7 points for the senior Kennedy Dosek, having a nice night. As the Trojans feel a little lighter on the pressure. Let's see if they do a little run and jump, and they're going to try it. Ball goes back over to Northland, tip the Trojan logo. Tries to get it over to Cathcart. It's another steal by Dosek. One-on-one with Eichelberger to the basket. Shot no good. Dietz gets the rebound. Back to Maurer. Jump shot in the lane is good. It's an offensive pouring on this second quarter for the Botkins Trojans as Mulaney Maurer up to 8. It's a 37-12 Trojan advantage. They get a block shot here. Oh, man, when it rains, it pours, Michael.
Yeah, the aggression is just, I think the size is just kind of weighing in, and Botkins with these double teams and be able to create several turnovers right now. Fairlawn turning over the ball 18 times so far.
On the inside, Pitts to the basket, scores 29 second quarter points. Really great offensive quarter here for the Botkins Trojans.
Finding that, especially after that kind of slow first quarter, but
there's going to be a foul on the Jets here. It's the team 6 as Botkins will have 9.8 seconds to get a shot off here before half. A 39-12 Botkins Trojans advantage. It was 10-8 after the first quarter, and the Jets have really struggled this quarter, and that is how this second quarter went for Botkins as Lydia Dietz hits a 3 at the horn. It's a 42-12 Botkins advantage over the Fairlawn Jets. We'll step aside, come back with the third quarter of action, and get you your first half stats here next on NKTelco Sports.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Whether you do business from a corner store or a corner office, there is one asset your business cannot do without: the Internet. Everything from sales and marketing, training and shipping, PR, HR, and R&D, your business relies on a fast, reliable, and secure connection. And now, it's more important than ever to partner with an Internet provider you can trust. Get Flight Fiber for Business, backed by local tech support from NKTelco. Call today.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Back here on NKTelco Sports, halftime here at the Botkins Athletic Complex, where the Botkins Trojans lead the Fairlawn Jets by a score of 42-12. And after a second quarter explosion by the Botkins Trojans, let's take a look at the stats here at halftime for Mr. Michael Laws.
Yeah, for Fairlawn, they're 6 for 13 from 2-point range, 0 for 6 from 3-point range. Did not go to the free throw line in the first half. 5 rebounds, but a telling tale, 18 turnovers for Fairlawn. For Botkins, 2-point range, they were 12 of 22 and really picked it up in the second quarter. 3-point range, 5 of 10. Free throws, 1 for 6. 10 rebounds and only 5 team turnovers. Individually, Lainey Clemens with 4. This is for Fairlawn. Lainey Clemens with 4. Riley Eichelberger with 2. Lily Cathcart with 2. Darcy Maxson with 4. On the Botkins side, Camden Paul currently with 10. Lydia Dietz with 6. Mulaney Maurer with 8. Kennedy Dosick with 7. Delaney Pitts with 9. And Jonna Metz with 2. So that just as you mentioned earlier, really spreading that offense out, especially for Botkins. One person doesn't get you, the other one will. So that's kind of where that's been kind of the telltale instead of keying on one person.
Yeah, and we like to remind you that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of this high school varsity girls basketball action on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503. You can catch the replays of this game Thursday, February 2nd at 7 p.m. and Friday, February 3rd at 5 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. And after the first quarter, like we said, you take a look, it's a 30-point Trojan advantage, but after the first quarter, it was only 10-8.
Yes.
So
Fairlawn was in it. I mean, they were doing it. Just Botkins was cold, and then all of a sudden, that second quarter, they just unleashed a scoring machine. And right now, at the moment, on cruise control, we'll see what Fairlawn can cut into this here in the second half.
And like we mentioned in the first half, you take a look at this Jet roster, and it's only 8 players, 5 of them freshmen. So this is a freshman team that their 7th and 8th grade years won the Shelby County League. So there's promise. You put freshmen up against a more veteran team like Botkins as Darcy Maxson starts the scoring in the second half. You're going to take some licks.
Absolutely. But if that play can happen, you never know what you can create here, and you can catch a team napping and. That goes cold, and if you just stick with it, things can happen. They did have the win this year. They had a win over Triad earlier, so, nothing in the conference yet. But, being young, you get this experience and you'll grow from it.
Camden Paul from the left wing, shot no good. Pitts battling for the jump ball there with Callie Helber, who's back in the lineup. Good to see after she went down, knocked knees. Looks like she's okay.
Yeah, they were looking at her. The trainer was looking at her. I'm glad to see her back on the floor.
As we mentioned, Fairlawn South, Cassie Heath, another one of their freshmen. Pitts takes it to the basket. Shot's no good. Block, gets a rebound back. Goes back to Paul in the lane. Shot is no good. Tips down over to Paul to Mulaney Maurer. Shot's no good. Maxson loses it momentarily. The jump ball arrow is going to favor the Jets.
Yeah, that's going to be I will give Fairlawn credit, even though with the size, they're scrappy. They're not afraid to play and at least be aggressive and go after it.
Clemens walking the ball up the floor. Goes back over to Helber. Go over to Eichelberger on the left side. Back in the corner, Clemens tries to get it up over to Darcy Maxson. Ball back to Eichelberger. Eichelberger in the corner. Back over to Helber. Helber being harassed here by Mulaney Maurer. Her third year on varsity. Maxson. Back out over to North. North going to fire a 3. Shots no good. Rebound down to Pitts. Pitts trying to push the break. Goes back to Dosek. Dosek to a wide open Mulaney Maurer, who fires a 3. Cans it. Man, she has got such a smooth stroke. It's picture perfect.
Anything from 3 has just been right through. And great accuracy, especially from Botkins, and adding to their 5 for 10 now, 6 for 11 from 3.
Shot no good by Maxson. Tipped out will stay with the Jets, but 2 girls, Mulaney Maurer and Camden Paul, they have been around this program, on the varsity level. This is their 3rd season. They both came off the bench. And have both been on those teams that made the district semifinals the last 2 years at the Sydney sectional. They want to get out of that Sydney sectional this year. Certainly can. As Paul's going to foul Clemens, and she'll shoot 2. This Trojan team, very talented. They set it at a 9-7 record, but they've beaten Parkway, who's at the top of the MAC right now, along with Marion Local. They played some tight games. This will be certainly an interesting team as Clemens knocks down the first free throw.
Yeah, nothing to be ashamed of, and especially 3rd place in the Shelby County, right behind top Fort Laramie and Russia, right behind them. So they're right on their heels.
And these Russia Raiders will visit these Botkins Trojans a week from now here at the Coliseum. That's a game that I'll be on the call for, and will be a very good game in a battle for 2nd place in the Shelby County Athletic League, probably. Yeah. As Dietz goes on the inside. Shot blocked by Eichelberger, but they call a late foul. Thought Eichelberger got that clean. as Lydia Dietz will go to the line.
Yeah, that gives her third foul, and that's something the Fairlawn can't afford, especially with the depth that they have, only having 8 players.
Dietz misses the first free throw. Lydia Dietz made the state golf tournament, first girl in Botkins school history to make the state golf tournament, I think along with her brother Ross, maybe? I try not to remember. I'm probably maybe butchering that. Maybe I got it right for you Botkins fans that are listening, but
I'm sure you'll get tweeted about it if you screw it up.
Yeah, made the state golf tournament as Pitts in transition scores.
She has been really aggressive and been able to create and get a couple of nice buckets off of these turnovers, or create them, either getting them herself or handing them off to her teammates.
And Delana Pitts, 11 points. Again, she's just done a nice job. She'd come off the bench whenever Janelle Blackfoot broke her hand, as there'll be a timeout by Coach Gavin Cathcart. Ever since she broke her hand, Pitts has done a nice job coming into the starting lineup, and she's going to do a nice job with 2 more years of eligibility that she has, as we have a precision strip timeout by Coach Gavin Cathcart. And we'd like to thank our additional sponsors here on NKTelco. They're Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Deckman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Park National Bank, SecureCom, the St. Henry Bank, and Wilson Health. Our keys to the game are brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Scoreboard sponsor, First National Bank. Our starting lineups are brought to you by Emerson Climate Technologies. This timeout's brought to you by Precision Strip. And our player of the game, which Michael and I will select at the end of the game, is brought to you by NKTelco. And we, again, thank you for joining us here. Glad to have you here on NKTelco Sports. A 48-16 Botkins advantage over the Fairlawn Jets.
Yeah, they're definitely showing their depth and their record, and how good they really are right now, especially with this tremendous second quarter of shooting that they had.
Reagan McPherron and Jana Metz returned to the lineup. And like we said, there was no JV contest, so you might see a decent bit of McPherron and Metz, who we expect really to be key players on the varsity roster moving forward for these Botkins Trojans, as again they'll graduate Lydia Dietz and Kennedy Dosak after this year, as the aforementioned Metz with the rebound. Gives it up over to Maurer. Back up over to Dietz to McPherron. McPherron to a cutting Mulaney Maurer. Shot's no good, but a foul on Darcy Maxson.
Yeah, great ball movement there by Botkins to be able to find Pitts underneath. Or excuse me, Maurer. I apologize. Mulaney Maurer underneath on that great off the foul of Maxson.
Yeah, Maurer cannot connect on the first free throw. And a 32-point lead here for the Trojans, and Maurer trying to extend it here as Botkins trying to get their 10th win of the season as Maurer splits the pair. Maurer's up to a dozen now, team high, and Pitts and Camden Paul join her in double figures.
Well, yeah, lots of depth and starting to see a lot of double figures on the Botkins side now, especially with this 49-16 lead.
Try to get the shot on the inside. It's no good. Rebound down to Camden Paul. Trying to zip it up ahead. Goes up to Dietz. Dietz going to go to that short corner. Shouts that baseline to McPherron, who fires. Shot is good by Reagan McPherron, who gets in the box score.
It's good to be able to get some quality playing time here for the rest of the bench, especially in something like this, because you're going to need that. You may need those guys later on, especially come tournament time.
That running clock now will be initiated with that 35-point Trojan lead as Eichelberger throws up the shot. It's no good. Rebound down to the corner into Avery North. So we'll have a host of substitutions come in here for the Trojans here in a second. As that's turned over.
Substitution into the game for the Trojans, number 30, Kylie Mack. Number 14, Grace Gutman, and number 24, Sophie Braun.
Grace Gutman, Sophie Braun, Kylie Mack in the lineup. As Gutman and Braun in for the first time tonight.
Good to be able to get them some playing time, and it should be at least all listed varsity players have now seen some time here for the Trojans.
Mack gets it over to Gutman, back to Mack. Wide open shot is no good. Metz on the inside going up is fouled, and will shoot two as The clock continues to roll here, and Mets will have 2 free throws.
Yeah, currently a 3-team foul, so.
Shot no good there by Mets.
The only thing you can really, I guess, look negatively right now at Botkins is the missed free throws. And, right now it's not going to hurt you too much here in a 51-16 lead, but something to look at here for future, making sure that you be able to get those to go, but you can get that one to go.
Yeah, and you put up a good point there. We talked about how they've lost in the district semifinals the past 2 years. One of those games was a 1-point loss 2 years ago in 2021, but that is it's true in tournament. That's going to come to affect you, and this is a good enough Trojan team to make that district final level this year. Just got to get hot. We know they can really beat anybody in the bracket, as there's going to be a foul on the Trojans. It's just making those free throws and making those plays to help you win.
Yeah, well, this, you coach, I coach, what the little things matter.
Yeah.
And that little stuff, that could be the difference between you moving on into district or not. If you can you just got to concentrate on them. And this is a good game to be able to do that and, talk about that, from a coaching standpoint.
And we have a foul on the Trojans as the running clock still initiated, but the fine little details. It's a good time to work on stuff.
You get everybody involved. I mean, you're getting quality playing time for everybody, so everybody can have a shot.
And that 3 is good from Avery North from downtown.
Her first ability to get to 3. Yep. Botkins didn't have any idea. They were telling them to move it along, but didn't have any idea where the clock was. But nonetheless, a 52-19 lead anyway.
We head to the fourth quarter. Trojans holding on to that lead. Look like they're going to get their 10th win of the season as we step aside and we'll come back with the fourth quarter action. You're next on NKTelco Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Back here on NKTelco Sports, beginning of the fourth quarter of action as Kenny Loggins brings us into the fourth quarter. And ironically, we're playing the Fairlawn Jets. It's a pretty good theme song here to play here tonight. And a 52-19 lead for the Botkins Trojans over the Fairlawn Jets. It was a 10-7 scoring advantage for Botkins that quarter, as it'll be Fairlawn basketball as that clock continues to roll here. And Fairlawn's got to get it under 30 if they want it to stop.
I think you're just looking at it more for playing time more than anything, if you can. If you can at least get it to 30, at least keep the clock stopped.
Shot no good. Gutman the rebound on the inside. Gutman trying to go to the basket. Kick it out over to Braun. Back over to Mack. Mack on the inside loses the basketball, but it'll stay with the Trojans. That was tipped out by Fairlawn. Box set here for Botkins. And a well-executed box play there. The shot didn't fall for Metz, as Eichelberger brings the ball up the right side. Eichelberger on the exchange to North, guarded by Sophia Braun. We talked about Fairlawn's depth. I'm sure it's nice that they're playing kind of more, or their youth, I should say. It's probably nice that they're playing, girls that are kind of closer to their age. It's a struggle when you have to throw all these freshmen on varsity. it's tough.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is basically, from a regular varsity standpoint, this is basically, a second tier, just from age standpoint, not, from ability standpoint, but, when you only have the numbers, you got to deal with what you got, and that's, good way for them to kind of settle in as well.
Gutman on the inside, trying to get it over to Mack. Tipped out back to Gutman. Back over to McPherron, who fires a three. It dances out. Shot's no good. Hustle in the corner for the ball, and Metz will be fouled there by Riley Eichelberger. That'll be her fourth.
Yeah, you can only do so much. I mean, you got to be aggressive, but sometimes you can't, and especially with the number. And unfortunately, the numbers are kind of weighing here for Fairlawn, unfortunately.
Botkins going to bring back in Kennedy Dosek and get Jana Metz a little bit of a rest here. George tossed around McPherron, gets a tip, he gets a steal. McPherron up ahead to Gutman, he misses the wide open layup. Rebound down to Clemens. Tipped away back by McPherron. McPherron zips up the court quickly, goes back over to Kylie Mack. Mack on the inside gets that swatted away. As Metz will return to the lineup for Botkins.
These are definitely going to be some coaching points, especially, even though you've got the lead, you got the lead and go from there. Those are things that you really want to execute, especially, when you kind of have this, kind of second wave of player in.
And Sophia Braun with a deep two there. Extends the Botkins advantage to 35, 54-19 on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard.
Only two players from Botkins have not scored yet. At least every other player has at least been on the scorebook.
And Metz puts it in. Jana Metz with 5 points off the bench for the 5'5" sophomore.
This pressure defense and creating these turnovers has really been a story for Botkins. Not only the shooting, but they're just aggressive, being able to create these turnovers as well.
Ball goes back over to the left side to Helber. Ball's getting tipped around back over to Clemens. Clemens keeps her pivot foot on the exchange back to North. Back over to Clemens. Gets a screen from Cathcart on the exchange to Darcy Maxson. A weave offense here so far for Fairlawn on this possession. North with the basketball. Running over into Michael Laws giving you action here. And catch the boys. Botkins team play Jackson Center tomorrow night here on NKTelco Sports. You can buy that ticket as Darcy Maxson scores. She's got 8 points for Fairlawn.
She's their leading scorer right now, so really want to try to get her the basketball for future games, get her the basketball get him underneath if she can.
The Trojans working around. Gutman kicks it out to McPherron. McPherron gonna fire up the three, and she
you could hear the
late release.
You could hear the crowd groan on that one. Unfortunately, I think the idea of the eyes were bigger than the.
I think she was thinking, I'm gonna shoot this, and then I'm not, and then it just happened.
Yep, it just happened. So, but you heard a groan from below us about that. So, but luckily it shouldn't be a big deal now.
Avery North's three is no good. Maxson on the cleanup. Darcy Maxson now in double figures. And she's had a nice night with 10 for the lone senior on this roster. And a 56-23 Botkins advantage. There's going to be a foul.
Nice idea. At least nice aggressive defense there by Fairlawn. Lainey Clemens and Haley Helber.
Ball in the corner, back over to Kylie Mack. Her shot lips out. Going back up is Gutman. Shot's no good. Rebound back to Metz. It's no good. Rebound on the inside by Braun. Ripped away by Darcy Maxson. As Clemens bolts up the floor. Clemens to the basket. Laney Clemens races to the basket and scores. As we got a timeout by Coach Gavin Cathcart. And it's a full timeout. All timeouts this year brought to you by Precision Strip. We'll just keep it here. Looks like they're returning the teams back to the floor. It looks like it's just to get a sub in. And for Fairlawn, it is number 22, Katrina Timicini. Actually, that's the second senior on this roster. And seeing her first action tonight.
Nope. That was a missed assignment. Looking for that and wasn't even looking for that pass. So,
and like I said earlier, you can catch the boys team tomorrow night for Botkins Jackson Center. It'll be on NKTelco Sports. That will be a really good game.
That should be a really good one, actually. I've seen Jackson Center boys really. I had them against Houston earlier, holding them to very low amount and really consistent there for Jackson Center. So that should be a good contest.
Cathcart, the shot, it's up and good. Lily Cathcart scores. A nice fourth quarter scoring-wise for Fairlawn with 8. It's really just been that second quarter that's been the difference as Reagan McPheron with the basketball. And actually the running clock is off now as Metz goes up and scores. And credit the Jets, they got that running clock off them as Jana Metz puts it in, and that's going to be all she wrote here for Botkins scoring-wise. 7 now for Jana Metz as Cathcart puts it up. Shot is no good. Braun up ahead, and Braun's going to put it up and score at the horn. Sophia Braun scores at the horn. It's a 60-27 Botkins win over the Fairlawn Jets. And I'll let Michael final up the totals. Hence, we thank our sponsors here on NKTelco Sports, because without them, we would not be able to bring you high school basketball here on NKTelco Sports. Our sponsors are Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Climate Technologies, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, the Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, Pratt Industries, Winners Meats, and NKTelco. Our keys to the game are brought to you by Keyhole Pizza, scoreboard sponsor First National Bank, Think First. Our starting lineup sponsors brought to you by Emerson Climate Technologies. Our timeout sponsors Precision Strip. Play of the game, which Michael and I will name here in a second from Botkins, is brought to you by NKTelco. Our additional sponsors are Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Park National Bank, SecureCom, the St. Henry Bank, and Wilson Health. We'd like to remind you that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of girls varsity basketball action on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503. You can catch the replays of this game Thursday, February 2nd at 7 p.m. and Friday, February 3rd at 5 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. Scores here tonight after quarters. After the first quarter, it was 10-8. Botkins ahead. At halftime, it was 42-12. Botkins ahead of Fairlawn. And after three quarters, it was 52-19. And the final is 60-27. Botkins over Fairlawn here on NKTelco Sports. So let's take a look at our stats, brought to you by Wagner's IGA. Here with them, Mr. Michael Laws.
Yeah, Fairlawn from 2-point range, 11 for 25, 0 for 10 from 3-point range. Did not convert from the go to the free throw line. 8 rebounds, 29 turnovers for Fairlawn total. For Botkins, 18 for 36 from 2-point range, 6 for 15 from 3-point range, 5 for 13 from the free throw line, 18 rebounds, and 9 turnovers. For Fairlawn, Laney Clemens finishes the game with 8, Avery North with 3, Riley Eichelberg with 2, Lily Cathcart with 4, and Darcy Maxon, the leading scorer for Fairlawn, with 10. Going with Botkins, Camden Paul, 10. Lydia Dietz with 7. Milena Maurer with 11. Kennedy Dosick with 7. Delaney Pitts 11. Reagan McFerrin with 2. Sophia Braun with 4. And Jana Metz with 7 total points.
And again, it was a game. It was 10-8 after the first quarter, but a 32-point Botkins Trojans second quarter. Really the difference here tonight. And Botkins goes to 10-7 on the season. They go to 6-3 in the Shelby County League. They play their next game Saturday at Houston, as the Fairlawn Jets drop to 1-17, 0-10 in the Shelby County League. And they will play at Bradford on Saturday as they try to get their second win of the season as they battle the Railroaders. So before we leave here tonight, save our player of the game, brought to you here by NKTelco. And Michael, who are you going with from Botkins?
I'm going with Delaney Pitts for Botkins, because she was not only with the 11 points, but she just creating havoc and turnovers and driving, aggressive on both sides of the floor. So we're going to go with the Delaney Pitts.
Yeah, and I like that selection. That's a very good selection here, as she's won a couple of them here already this year, and she's going to win many more over the next few years as Botkins again moves to 10-7 on the season. So for the final time here tonight, the Botkins Trojans defeat the Fairlawn Jets 60-27. For Michael Laws, I'm Brandon Coverman. We'll catch you here next time on NKTelco Sports.